Ready, set, art. This position here is the resting hand position. So how we're going to draw this is we're going to use the techniques from open palm and fist to figure out the proportions. If you could look right here, we're looking at this type of shaping, and then we see these little fingers behind our ring finger, and we're going to learn how to deal with that as well. Later, we'll use it as the base for a watercolor painting, and then this is done in the abstract expressionistic style. We have light layering, and then we went back and did some glazed texturing to finish the piece. So let's get started. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing. At the end of the chapter, chapter 1, there is a closing assignment where we combine the concept of hand and plant. So in this case, what I wanted to do was have the hands like this and then a plant growing out of it, in this case a bonsai tree. I asked my daughter to have her hands like this, and I took a picture, and that's what you see here. And this is essentially the resting hand position. It's just upside down. Okay, so I'm going to take my contour line drawing, move that to here, and let's go ahead and look at this hand. So if you look at this here, it's the shape of kind of like a trapezoid. So before with the palm, we were trying to transfer this to a geometric shape. We're doing the same thing here. I'm going to use pencil angles to help figure it out. So that's the angle there. This is the angle here. This is the angle here. Double check that, and essentially straight. Okay. And then next, we're going to figure out this. So we're going to use the same concept that we did with the fist, where we draw the whole shape and then we put the details inside. Same idea. To get that started, I want to C measure from here to here, even while it's curved. I don't want to straighten my fingers. That's not the way I want to create the rested hand. And then I compare to the shape I already drew. So in this case, it goes right above the wrist. So it's about here. And then I C measure, make a mark, and I'm going to draw this curve. If you're trying to figure out angles, you just kind of go like that. Now I want to figure out from here to here. So I'm going to just hold my angle for the thumb and then straight. Okay. So now we have the basic part for the fingers and the thumb. I'm going to add an arm, and I'm ready to get my fingers in. I'm going to start by putting a knuckle in. So I'm going to put this big circle. That's going to be useful later in helping to figure this part out. Next is putting in the thumb. There's a, if I angle just right, there's another big circle there for that. And then there's two lines I want you to draw, this little flap and then this inside line. So it's kind of going straight, but then there's this inside line right here, and that helps to guide into the thumb. So I kind of straight drawing it out. I get toward the knuckle, and then about right there. It looks like I had to correct my angle as I went. I saw that as I went, but that's okay. And I'm also going to include my nail. My nail kind of makes it look like my thumb is longer than it is, but that's okay. Alright, so now we have that part in, and we're ready to create our finger. So this is why I needed that round part, because you can see the finger, this part is starting here, not all the way back here. So I'm just going to add that section, put in a little line, and then it looks kind of wide right there, doesn't it? It's the way my finger is. And then I bring up the line. There's another section for my knuckle, and then my finger. I'll add the nails later. Now, I did this, and now I'm ready for the other fingers. Now, I realize video-wise, if you're looking, I'm drawing it for you, this angle. And for me, in order to draw, I can't really put my eyes right here and look at the same time and draw, so I'm going to angle it back this way, just so I can see how to draw that part. So just know that you're seeing it from this angle, and I'm seeing it from here, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put the middle finger. Now this line here, I had to go a little further. Okay. And then I'm going to add this in, and it drops down a little bit. Why? Because part of this is actually showing from my angle, just a little bit. So I'm going to add that in so I know where to put my fingers. Okay. And then here's my ring finger. It's starting to drop down a little bit. Not very far. And then my pinky even more so. Okay. Now remember, when we did the open palm, this part dropped down. So it's going to be pretty short when we see it from this angle. Now I can start adding some nails. I'm seeing it from, you know, a little bit of that nail, not too much. Okay. Add that in, then this. Okay. So now we're at the geometric sketchy stage, and we need to translate this into organic single contour line. So remember, single contour line is a single line, right? We do the sketchy part first in case we need to correct proportions. That happens. Okay, so I'm going to start with this finger. And I'm coming up this part, I'm adding that knuckle in, and then it dips down. And I know I'm really sketchy right now, but I'm going to correct that. Okay. It's because I had to reshape. Artists make mistakes all the time, and it's okay if you need to correct as you go, right? Okay, and then I get to here. I'm going to make that more of a single contour line, correct my sketchiness, right? Sometimes we have to correct as we go, and that's okay. And then I'm going to go underneath and make this interesting line. I like how this shape is. It's kind of funky right here. So that makes it more interesting to draw, to get those type of details in. It makes it look more natural instead of cartoonish. I'm going to add some knuckle lines in there. And then it does get a little fatter at the tip sometimes, so I'm going to add that in. Okay, I can keep going, but I think you get the idea that eventually you're getting to this point where we see some of these details. Look, there's that funky part I was telling you about. Again, you add those things in because that's what makes it look natural, right? And then you change it into a single contour line, take a picture of it, upload it, and then next we'll be able to do some painting. Thank you.